Go, Knights, go! Go, Knights, go! Go, Knights, go! Go, Knights, go! Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Knights This Week with your host and superfan Jason Banks coming at you. And here is another great show coming at you this week, trying to get you caught up on what's happening with the London Knights here in the fourth city of London, Ontario. How did they do this week? What happened with the Knights this week? Well, it wasn't a bad week. We'll say we'll say it was a pretty good week. But we'll get to that in a second. But welcome to Knights This Week. And so this week is a busy week. We got 3 games to cap up for you, starting with a week ago Friday at Budweiser Gardens. And then we go to a couple of games during the week. Just happened this past week. Game on Tuesday and a game on Thursday. So I'll find out what happened with the Knights this week. But just give me a second, because I got to get something else queued up for my segment here. So just give me a second. All right, there you go. Here we go. And let me just show you my little... I'm trying to get more decor for this show. So I got some little decor going here behind me. Got a hockey stick, of course. Got a hat sitting there, which I'm going to use in my video. And got a London Knights shirt here for you. It's all green here behind me. The color of the Knights. So green for Knights. Go Knights, go. Okay, so let's get to the games this week. We got some games to get to you here for you on Knights this week, and then we also got something that came down the pipe wire just today that we want to share with you as well, and of course the standings as well. Wouldn't be complete without those. Okay, so let's get to this, shall we? And let's go to a week ago Friday, where the Knights were entertaining the Flint Firebirds here at Budweiser Gardens. And of course do you remember last time what happened with these two teams? Do you remember? Last time the Flint Firebirds were in town, they went out of town with their tails between their legs, as the London Knights walked all over Flint last time they were here by a tune of 8-2. As you recall, Robert Thomas, the captain of your London Knights, had a 6-point night, the best that he's ever had in his career. He had 4 goals and 2 assists. Could they actually do this again? Could that actually happen again? Come on, not again, could it? All right, well, let's find out. And let's just give you a little bit of a hint of what happens in this game, shall I? Just a little bit of a hint for you. And that hint is being... He scores! He scores! He scores! You heard that a lot at Budweiser Gardens on Friday night. And the Knights didn't start scoring right away. It actually took some time, but they got the first 2 goals of the game by the end of the first period. They both came late. First goal came at 15:21 of the first when Tyler Rollo. Hey, Rollo! Rollo. I think that's a candy, isn't it? Anybody ever had a candy, a Rollo Fruit Up or something like, anyway. Tyler Rollo got his 3rd goal of the season from Alex Formanton, and Alice Harrison caught him at 15:21. It was 1-0. And then, hey, he's been here before. He played, he knows who the Flint Firebirds are. Robert Thomas got his 13th goal of the season at 16:07 at the first, 2-0 at the end of 1 period of play for your London Knights. And then it just took off after that, because the second period saw 3 more goals. 27 seconds in, Richard Whittaker gets his very first goal of the season. Give that boy a hand. Congratulations, Mr. Whittaker. His first goal of the season from Alex Formanton and Jacob Golden made it 3-0. Clapoo, that's 231, gets a go as fifth, makes it 4-0. Robert Thomas, oh captain, where are you, oh captain? Oh, there you are. He comes in the second as well and gets another goal, his 14th of the season. 5-0 for your London Knights at the end of 2. And it just keeps coming, folks. The onslaught is on at Budweiser Gardens. You know, I made this pitch. I say the London Knights should play Flint every game. Every game. Just bring Flint in every game. Guaranteed win night at Budweiser Gardens or wherever they are. Because in the third period, they added 4 more goals here on the Knights. From Cole Timken. Robert Thomas! Can you count how many that is for Robert Thomas here in this game? 3! He gets a hat trick. So, Robert Thomas loves playing the Flint Firebirds, as does the whole London Knight team, because by the end of the night, the final score, is your London Knights 9, the Flint Firebirds zip, nada, zilch, nothing. They got skunked, whitewashed. 9-0 for the London Knights. And again, just like they did against them 2 weeks ago here at Budweiser Gardens, they laid a beating on them. Although, you have to say this much about the London Knights. Robert Thomas got 3 goals, not 4 like he did last time. And let me see, I don't think he got any assists. So, a quiet night, relatively speaking, for Mr. Thomas. Just 3 points rather than 6. But still, a great night for Robert Thomas. A great night for the London Knights. As the London Knights would defeat the Flint Firebirds 9-0. Robert Thomas gets the hat trick. Oh, Robert Thomas, our captain. This is for you, buddy. Woo! Here, I'm gonna show it to you again. Woo! Hat trick for Robert Thomas. And you know what I want to do? Just give me a second. I should have had this queued up, but you know what? It's so awesome, so we have to do it. Here we go. This is from, you see this all the time when you're at a game at Budweiser Gardens, so here it is. Because of that game,
I swear I've seen a lot of stuff in my life, but that was awesome.
That was awesome. The London Knights defeat the Flint Firebirds 9-0. So, let's pour some confetti on the London Knights. That was a big game. Let's give them a thumbs up. And let's not forget who the London Knights are. Let's not forget, they are an awesome hockey team as they beat the Flint Firebirds 9-0 in the first game of this Knights This Week edition. Now, another thing that you might want to, another thing that is actually significant from this game is Joseph Raymakers was in that. Well, since Joseph Raymakers has come over to the London Knights, he's played every single game. He has been the man they have gone to. And I'm not sure. I don't know if you want to keep riding him and wearing him out. Give Jordan Coy a chance. But nevertheless, Joseph Raymakers gets the shutout. He's the first star of the game. And that is the first shutout for him in a London Knight uniform. So again, give him a hand. Give Joseph Raymakers a hand for the shutout. He's the first star of the game. Robert Thomas, the second star of the game. Cliff Prue, the third. Your Knights win 9-0. So let's go to the next game of the week. We're going down the road to Kitchener, just an hour down the road, where a big streak is on the line here for the London Knights. London Knights coming into play in this game, riding a 14-game winning streak against their rival, 401 rival. That's a lot of games in a row to win against a hockey team. 14 straight. And I guess the question coming into this game was, could it be 15 by the end of the night? So let's go down the road to Kitchener with the Knights on the bus. We're going on the bus, going an hour down the road to Kitchener, and let's see what we see happen in this one in Kitchener. And Joseph Raymakers getting the start in net again for the London Knights. They love this guy. I'm telling you, the coaches love this guy. He is their man. So he gets to start. Kitchener going with Luke Richardson in net for their team. And let's go through this game kind of a little bit more closely because this was a much closer game than the Flint game. Yes, you know, there is some competition in this league outside of Flint. But anyway, London Knights going into Kitchener. And first period, the shots on net were 14 to 12 in favor of Kitchener, and Kitchener would actually have the slight edge on the scoreboard as well at the end of one period of play, as Kitchener would be leading the Knights 2-1 after one. A former Knight, Cole Sherwood, got the scoring going in this game when he got his fourth goal of the season from Adam Mascarin and Logan Stanley at 6:25. Replying back at 13:55 for your London Knights was Alex Formanton. Alex Formanton had a really great game this game, actually. He got his first goal of the game, his third of the season from Cliff Pooh and Evan Bouchard. And then Kitchener went ahead again with with actually 2 minutes and 22 seconds left in the first when Adam Nishka got his third from Cole Carter and Greg Morales at 17:38, made it 2-1. Stayed that way till about the midway point of the second when Mr. Alex Formanton got another goal, his second goal of the game from Cliff Pooh and Sam Milicic. It was a power play goal, just like it was in the first, actually, a power play goal. So Alex Formanton got his power play goal from Cliff Pooh and Sam Milicic. His second of the game, his fourth of the season, tied it up at 2. And that's where it stood at the end of 2. So a pretty good game for the London Knights. Really, you can't say they played them tough, and it was 2-2 after 2. They actually outshot the Knights. The Rangers 11-5 in that second too. So, so a pretty good game for the London Knights so far. And going into the third with a chance to again defeat the Kitchener Rangers, and that's what Kitchener is having a good season to go into the third with a chance to win. That's all you can ask for. But then the London Knights took a double minor in that third period a little later on. And this was really the turning point of the game. The TSN turning point of the game. Yes, folks, the TSN turning point of the game. Knights take a double minor. Kitchener scores on the power play. At 7:14, Cole Sherwood, his fifth of the season from Adam Mascarin and Joseph Garafa at 7:14, put Kitchener ahead 3-2 again. And then, again, late in the third, Kitchener gets another goal. This one, again, coming off the stick of Cole Sherwood, his sixth from Adam Mascarin and Richard Hug at 17:07, and Cole Sherwood, wouldn't you know it, Cole Sherwood, a former London Knight, who the London Knights traded at near the beginning of last season because they thought that he wouldn't fit into their plan. He thought that they had too many forwards. He wasn't talented enough. Traded him off to Flint, actually, and I bet you Cole Sherwood's happy he's out of Flint now. Ha! No, seriously, he's with the Rangers, and he's playing very well. He gets a hat trick in this game. So a former Knight is the one responsible for putting a dagger in the Knights in this one, as well as that double minor in the third period, actually, too. But is there a saying, all good things come to an end? Well, that's what happened in this one. And cue the music here. Let's cue the music here, folks. Go, Knights, go! Go, Knights, go! Go, Knights, go! Go, Knights, go! Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Knights This Week with your host and superfan Jason Banks coming at you. And here is another great show coming at you this week, trying to get you caught up on what's happening with the London Knights here in the fourth city of London, Ontario. How did they do this week? What happened with the Knights this week? Well, it wasn't a bad week. We'll say we'll say it was a pretty good week. But we'll get to that in a second. But welcome to Knights This Week. And so this week is a busy week. We got 3 games to cap up for you, starting with a week ago Friday at Budweiser Gardens. And then we go to a couple of games during the week. Just happened this past week. Game on Tuesday and a game on Thursday. So I'll find out what happened with the Knights this week. But just give me a second, because I got to get something else queued up for my segment here. So just give me a second. All right, there you go. Here we go. And let me just show you my little, I'm trying to get more decor for this show. So I got some little decor going here behind me. Got a hockey stick, of course. Got a hat sitting there, which I'm going to use in my video. And got a London Knights shirt here for you. It's all green here behind me, the color of the Knights. So green for Knights. Go Knights, go. Okay, so let's get to the games this week. We got some games to get to you here for you on Knights this week, and then we also got something that came down the pipe wire just today that we want to share with you as well, and of course the standings as well. Wouldn't be complete without those. Okay, so let's get to this, shall we? And let's go to a week ago Friday, where the Knights were entertaining the Flint Firebirds here at Budweiser Gardens. And of course you remember, do you remember last time what happened with these two teams? Do you remember? Last time the Flint Firebirds were in town, they went out of town with their tails between their legs, as the London Knights walked all over Flint last time they were here by a tune of 8-2. As you recall, Robert Thomas, the captain of your London Knights, had a 6-point night, the best that he's ever had in his career. He had 4 goals and 2 assists. Could they actually do this again? Could that actually happen again? Come on, not again, could it? All right, well, let's find out. And what happens in this one? Cliff Pooh gets the Knights on the board in the first, killing a penalty too. And that's something that you got to be aware of at Cliff Pooh when you're on a power play, is his speed can just sometimes come and just turn the tide in a power play. And that's what happened here. A shorthanded, unassisted goal at 5:16. His 6th of the season, opened the scoring in this one, gave the Knights a 1-0 lead. At 8:39, Guelph would come right back and tie it. Cedric Ralph gets his 5th from Mark Woolley and James McEwen. 8:39 made it a tied game. But before the first period was over, the Knights get a couple more goals, and they would actually get a 2-goal bulge in this one. Max Jones is 9th at 13:32. Then Alex Formanton, his 5th, at 17:41 from Sam Miletich, made it 3-1. So pretty good first period for your London Knights in this one, as they do pretty good in the first. Shots were even, 11-11. The shots were even almost right down the board the whole game, actually. 11-11 in the first, 10 in the second, 14-12 slight edge in the third for your London Knights. But pretty even numbers all the way around in this one, really. But a 3-1 lead at the end of one for the hometown boys. In the second period, Guelph gets back within one again. Cam Hillis, 7th of the season, on the power play at 5:38, made it 3-2. But with just the second period just ticking down, Mr. Evan Bouchard doesn't stop playing, and he gets his 5th goal of the season at 19:52. There's a power play goal, too, from Robert Thomas and Sam Militich at 19:52. Made it 4-2 at that point, yes. Then early in the third, a late goal in the second, an early one in the third at 1:32. Sam Militich from Alex Formanton makes it 5-2 for your London Knights. They're looking pretty good in this one. They're looking mighty good. But don't go away, because Guelph makes this interesting. 10:46 of the third, Mason Primo gets a goal, his very first of the season. Hey, is that kid any relation to Keith Primo? He might be. He has the same last name, Mason Primo. First goal of the season, makes it. What does it make it at that point? 5-3. 5-3. Then Cedric Ralph gets his second of the game, his 6th of the season. 14:05 made it a 1-goal game. Then late in the third, the London Knights would get the edge back again at 18:18. Max Jones, his 10th of the season, from Cliff Pooh and Shane Collins at 18:18. And then Alex Formanton gets an empty net assurance goal at 19:54, his 6th of the season, to make it a final. Make the final 7-4 for your Knights over the Guelph Storm. The Knights played a pretty good game in this one, too. They had a good week, I think. They really did. The Knights did really have a good week. They played good enough in Kitchener to win that game. Just didn't get the couple of breaks in that one. Played good against Flint. Played good in this one. 3 stars of this game. Cedric Ralph gets 2 goals for Guelph, so he would be a star for sure. Cliff Pooh played a good game, opened the scoring. 2nd star. Sam Militich, the 1st star of the game, as the Knights would defeat the Guelph Storm by a score of 7-4 in this one. So, a lot of good games played by the London Knights this week, and they get 2 out of 3 wins. So pretty good for the London Knights. Now, dun, 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 what's this I'm hearing? Dun, 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 dun. Breaking news! Breaking news! We got some breaking news coming down the pipeline. The London Knights made a trade today. The London Knights, if you are counting, they have 4 overagers on their team. So that's one too many. So one of them was shipped out of town today when the Knights traded Adrian Carbonera to the Niagara Ice Dogs. So he goes back to the Eastern Conference. He did come from the Barrie Coast, so back into the Eastern Conference Mr. Carbonera goes. Coming back to London as Niagara's 2020 4th round pick. That's all there is to this trade. Adrian Carbonera out at 4th round 2020 pick coming back. I want to read this. This is a little thing that the London Knights talked about Adrian Carbonera with. So let me just get to this. This is Knights General Manager Rob Simpson. We would like to thank Adrian for his time here in London. Adrian will be able to bring his veteran presence to a young Ice Dogs team, and we are excited to be able to give him this opportunity. So that's what Rob Simpson has to say about the trade today with Adrian Carbonera going out to the Niagara Ice Dogs. Woof! So yeah, so that just went down today. So let's get to you an update on the CHL rankings and standings before we wrap this thing up again. So I hope that you've enjoyed this show. Try to make it entertaining, try to add things in, try to make it fun. So that's what I try to do. Okay, so let's go to the standings. All right, the CHL rankings. So just give me a second as I bring that up. And I can tell you that there's a team on the move in the OHL. And this just happened yesterday, so it probably won't affect the CHL top 10 rankings because they just came out on, of course, midweek, like they always do on the Wednesday. Okay, so let's go down, scrolling down. We're scrolling down. Here we go to CHL top 10. All right, so here we go. There's 3 teams from the OHL in the CHL top 10 this week, actually. So, let's shake this down. Shake it on down. Okay, so this is week 9 for the top 10 CHL rankings. And still at the top, they have been ranked there number 1 most of the year. The Sarnia Sting still sitting at the top of those rankings with a record of 16, 4, and 1. So they are number 1 in the country. Number 2 in the country, a new number 2. They've moved up from 4. It's a team from out west, the Moose Jaw Warriors. Are 16 and 4. So pretty good. Number 3, they were 3 last week from the Quebec Junior League, the Blainville Brospient Armada. 14, 3, and 2. They still are right up there. Moving up to 4th from 5th. From the OHL, right behind the Sarnia Sting, the Sioux Greyhounds at 15, 3, and 2. I can tell you as well that they are now ahead of the Sarnia Sting after last night because Sioux won, Sarnia lost. So the Sioux Greyhounds are the best team in the OHL right now. So they're a very good squad out there in Sault Ste. Marie. So they are number 4 in the country. Number 5, the Portland Winterhawks. They move up from 6 from the week before. They're 14 and 4. Dropping all the way down to 6 from 2. They were 2, and now they're 6. The Swift Current Broncos, 13, 4, and 1 from out west. Number 7 from the Ontario Hockey League out in the Eastern Conference, the Barrie Colts. They actually jump right in at 7. They haven't been ranked all week, and this is their first week in the CHL top 10, and they come in at 7th. 12, 4, and 1. Rounding out the bottom 3, you got the Quebec Remparts out east, out in the Quebec League at 8th, or Rimouski Oceanic at 9, and the Medicine Hat Tigers from out west are 10th right now. So that's your top 10 CHL rankings for you. So fantastic. Let's just go to the standings now, and let's give you an update on the standings in the OHL. So let's do that. And as I alluded to already, there is a team that is now new team, first overall in the OHL, and that is the Sioux Greyhounds with a win yesterday, Sarnia losing. So they are actually 1 point ahead of the Sarnia Sting, the Sioux Greyhounds, with 34 points. So the Sioux Greyhounds have got a very good squad. They certainly do. 34 points. They are first. Sarnia Sting right behind them for 33. Is going to be a really fun race between those two clubs this year, I think. But yeah, that's where they are right now. They're both 1 and 2 in the OHL. Let's go over to the Knights division. Right now, the Knights, I mean, we all know how horrible of a start they had, but right now the Knights are in a playoff spot. They're actually holding down the 8th and final playoff spot right now. But they're just 1 point behind the Erie Otters. The London Knights come into play with a record tonight of 8, 10, and 2, 18 points. They're 1 point behind the Erie Otters, who are 8, 10, 2, and 1. Grouse Storm have 22 points, so certainly the Grouse Storm are not out of question to catch. Neither are really the Owen Sound Attack. They have 24 points. So they are sitting second in the division. Kitchener with 26 sitting first still. So that's the Knights division. Let's go out east now and see what's happening out there. Barrie Coates, as I said, are 7th in the CHL. They have a record of 12-5-1-1 for 26 points. They are tied for first in the Eastern Conference with the Hamilton Bulldogs. Hamilton Bulldogs 11-5-1-3, both with 26 points. And then you got a bunch of teams with 25 points as well. You got Kingston with 25, Ottawa with 25, Peterborough with 25. And that's kind of how it breaks down and out east right now. Okay, wow. Do I need to catch my breath after all that? That is a lot of stuff that happened, but I'm happy to bring it to you in a short, condensed time that I try to do. So that pretty much sums up the week for you this week. So next week we got, I think, about 3 games that we're going to be bringing to you as well. So we'll get to those next week. But like I do at the end of every show, we're going to do the nightstands here for you to end the show. So let's do that for us. All right. So here we go, the nightstands to end nights this week with your host, Jason Banks. Thank you for watching, and let's hear the nightstands. Here we go, the nightstands. Do 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 do. So until next week, go Knights go, and we'll see you next week on Knights This Week. Until then, take care.